Hi, Freddie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Amy. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So I have some questions to ask you today about your academy experience. So if you could take me through your placement, what client teams have you worked with and what specific projects have you been responsible for during your placement?
So my role is to be a solutions analyst, and this generally means that I'm managing API connections, testing and troubleshooting failed API calls, and just generally overseeing customer migrations and onboarding. So this will be validating certain criteria like their volume or their revenue or what systems they need or are currently on. One of the key things that I've worked on that was really interesting was an Excel-based data analysis project. So essentially, we extracted lots of data from customer profiles and their stakeholder needs and requirements. We created a large pivot table on Excel and drew key insights from there. Now, this was used by loads and loads of teams, and we had to think about various stakeholders. So, what did the finance people need to see for this project? What did the testers need to see? What did project management need to see? And even the CEO used it for certain things and just to generally get a high level view of what was going on. But just daily client interactions will be handling API testing, just troubleshooting and putting out large stakeholder updates.
So was that something that you knew you were going to get into, or when you joined the academy, were you a bit like open to everything and seeing where it was going to take you?
So there are large elements of what I was absolutely looking for. I was really wanting something stakeholder management, something business analysis, but 1010 really like to ensure that you've got all of the skills needed to help you navigate into any aspect of the tech career. So we're really grateful for them that they trained me up in so many different things, and all of which have been in use of some way.
That's brilliant. It leaves all the doors open for you, doesn't it? So it makes sure you can go into pretty much anything. That's great. So what parts of the 1010 Academy have been the most useful in your placement?
Definitely the most used things for us would be the APIs, the testing, and just the general business analysis and stakeholder management. These are really critical for troubleshooting, validating API connections, and just generally very helpful for client interactions and interactions with different teams and different stakeholders. And they really teach us how to present data to different teams and how to speak in the language that people will understand. And also what was really useful was sort of more of a way of working of a structured problem solving approach, which really aided us to make quick decisions and work efficiently.
So what is a normal working day or week for you?
So I like to get in quite early, to be honest, just so in the morning I can get all of my prep stuff done. And then when I jump on the call with any clients or any stakeholders, I'm up to date. I've understood that the problems that are going on a lot of the time, that they'll be sending you issues through, throughout the night that their teams have been working on. So it's really great to catch up and you're not swamped as soon as you get on a call with them. Midday, I like to, work on customer onboarding validations, just generally prep stuff, work on larger projects such as the Excel reporting. And then, in the afternoon, we like to have stand-up meetings to discuss the day's challenges, to update us on where we are, where we're working, any bottlenecks, anything that's going on. And the main thing for me is that there are 16 other consultants from 1010 here with us, and we're all very young, we're all very hungry, very eager to learn. But this really creates a really fun, very engaging team environment. And the day goes quite quickly when you work with other people, so that's great.
That's really nice. It's nice having the 1010 support as well. You've all come from the same or similar backgrounds and you've all got the same aid of support back there as well. So that's really nice. So my next question is, have your roles or responsibilities changed during your time on placement?
Definitely, yes. So early on, we were really getting up to speed with specific processes and just generally, the day-to-day running. So we spent a lot of time shadowing the senior analysts, spent a lot of time learning the processes, but now we have much more autonomy with our API testing, much more autonomy to actually go and, analyze the issues that the customers are facing and try and solve them ourselves before, obviously if we get stuck, we still have these people that we can fall back on, but they've taught us really well. With a combination of the training that we've received here and the training from 1010, we are absolutely excelling here, and we are just creating and refining stakeholder reports, fixing issues, and just have so much responsibility within the specific projects that we've been undertaking.
That's really good. Still growing, even though you've done all your training. It's nice knowing that you're still progressing in your career, because that's the most important thing. You don't ever want to just stop at a level. You want to keep going up. So that's very, very exciting to hear. And what technology tools, frameworks, and processes have you gained experience with since starting your client work?
So the technology and tools that we use that are tech-based mainly are, for the API testing and just general software testing. So we use Ready API to test calls, to test why they might be failing, just generally to change little bits here and there and see how that affects, what the end result might be. We used a lot of Excel for data analysis, we pivot tables, and just, it's very, very common, but we used a lot of PowerPoint and a lot of Outlook just to communicate between people and to present, our findings, present any changes in the project, and generally just tell people how we're getting along. Frameworks, a big one for us for stakeholder management was the power interest grid. Sorry, this really let us analyze who was using what, who we needed to talk to, who, to be honest, who had any sort of stake in the projects we've been undertaking. Because I think a lot of people get too hopped up on, okay, I'm working as a tech consultant, I need to talk to developers, I need to talk to software engineers, to project managers, but you're in a business, you have to talk to everyone. You have to talk to the people in finance, you have to talk to the customer services representatives, because everything you do that affects the tools they use will affect the way that they work. And if the way that they work's changed, they need to make sure they're aware of it before the changes occur. And with the processes that we've been using, just general troubleshooting workflows, onboarding validation is, it's quite structured how you validate people. They have to meet certain requirements. And just generally, we like to be as agile as we can here with our daily stand-ups, our sprints, and our just catch-ups, I suppose. Yeah.
That's really good, because it also shows the importance of your role as well, with the fact that you're working within your team, but you do have to speak to other people, which is also why I think the 1010 Academy are very good, because they ensure you have the right, like mannerisms and professionalism to be able to go and speak to different people. But yeah, you're not just limited to your own team, you're also getting to get experience from other people that are higher up than you and different teams completely. So that's very good.
Yeah, that was a really, really important aspect of the training, was just generally the ways of working that you have to be as a professional, how you have to talk to people, how you have to present information. It really helped us, talk to so many different teams and just generally understand how people like to receive information, because you're not going to talk to someone that works in finance the same way that you would talk to a software developer.
So how has your client supported your development?
So the client has been absolutely fantastic with our development. I mean, when we came in, they knew we weren't going to understand the nuances of how they like to work. So we had a lot of training sessions on their internal systems, but also, they understand that people forget things over time, and sometimes they need a catch up. So we sort of went over a lot of the aspects of our training. So we re-looked at APIs, we re-looked at testing. We had a lot of daily stand-ups that helped us show our progress updates and show how we might resolve issues and how we are resolving issues. But also this really helped our communication networks to build. We understood who was above us and who was interested in what, and just generally who we had to talk to make sure that the job could get done. We had a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of shadowing opportunities with more experienced team members. Now, this was great because it let us see the most efficient way for us to do things. And just generally, the client has let us be incredibly autonomous with our projects, which has really helped us to build our confidence and really helped us to build our skills.
I think shadowing is such an important part of working somewhere. Like, I'm one of those people personally that I need to learn by doing and seeing, like, someone leading by example. So I think, especially in a tech job, I can imagine it being very, very important and the best way to learn. And at the time, you're seeing somebody doing it, but you're also able to ask all the questions at the time, which is really good. So it's very good that they're having you do that, because in my opinion, that's the best way to pick something up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you might have your own way of doing something, but if you shadow someone that's far above you, that they've been doing for a lot longer, they might show you little tricks that you can use just to save a little bit of time, and that will help you get more work done in the day. So
what support have you received from 1010 during your placement?
To be honest, 1010 have been absolutely fantastic with us. They've taken a really multifaceted approach to how that they're going to support us. So we've been having a lot of monthly debriefs, not only based on the work and the challenges and how we're progressing, but also based on how we're feeling as people, not as consultants, because 1010 understand that you really need to be happy and satisfied in your work if you're going to achieve great things. I've had a lot of mentorship from Matthew, who's given me a lot of testing insights, just generally, issues that he's noticed on the web pages that we're working on. I would then send these over to the testing team and have a little talk with them about it. And they would say, oh, we've noticed this, or we haven't noticed this. And just in general, to be honest, 1010 have been giving us continuous training and guidance, and this has really helped us improve our technical and professional skills.
So have you been given any extra opportunities through your client work?
Yeah, I would say so. We've been given the opportunity to network with large companies and very senior IT members within those companies. I could not tell you the amount of chief of IT officers that I've had the opportunity to network with, and just in general, we've had such exposure to high level decision making. We've worked with so many teams, and we've really sort of understood how businesses develop and how businesses operate, and we've used this information to try and deliver the most value that we can, not only to our client but also to our clients' clients.
That's really good. It's also nice knowing you're picking things up from your company, obviously, and your client, but learning things from other places as well never hurts, because people do things differently and some people do things more efficiently that you've never maybe thought of before. So it is good that you're taking that. You're not just getting your clients' industry knowledge, but you're learning from other people too. So my last question for you today is, if there's anybody watching this who's thinking about applying to the academy, what would you say to them?
I would say just go for it. I mean, it could be the best decision you ever made. It could propel you into a career that you absolutely love and are so passionate about. What have you got to lose, really? I mean, what's the downside?
Those are brilliant answers. Thank you so much for speaking to me today, Freddie.
Well, thank you for speaking to me as well, Amy. It was a pleasure.